My name is Yasmine. I just completed the associate's degree program at Douglas. I study humanities and I'm into writing. And I did the Indonesia Discovery Camp and the Italy Field School this summer.
And I'm Trisha. I am currently doing my general studies, but I'm applying to the honors program in psychology for pre-counseling. I'm in my third year. And I have done the Scotland Field Study program, the Mexico City program for climate action, as well as the Discovery Camp with Yasmine in Indonesia. Well, I chose the study abroad programs because at the time before going into the Scotland field study, I had never done any independent traveling without my parents. I've never lived on my own. So I thought that in addition to it being in a school setting and being able to learn, it was a safe and good way of doing that for the first time. And then I did it 2 more times after that because it was super cool. It was a great way of learning.
Same as Trisha, I never really traveled alone before Italy. And I always knew I wanted to go to Italy, and I saw the program pre-pandemic, and they never really offered it again. And I would ask all the time until one day this lovely lady came into our class and she's like, "Oh, we're doing the Italy Field School." And I'm like, "Yes," I was waiting for that one. And the Indonesia Discovery Camp, it was all free. It was all inclusive. Everything was covered.
Yeah, that part too.
And they gave us a scholarship on top of that. So it was secure. It was financed and secure. I said that already, but it was safe and teachers are there and everything. And yeah. So for Italy, it was purely Douglas-based. Douglas College ran it, and you got 9 credits out of it. I did English, I did philosophy, and I did math. And everyone in my class, almost everyone, did not like math. They were not good at math, but we all came out of there loving math. Shout out Wesley Snyder. And then for Indonesia, it was not Douglas run, but it was just partnered with Douglas College, and we got a certificate of completion and participation and a lot of valuable knowledge and experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, for the Scotland Field Study program, it was humanities credits. So I did history of health and medicine, social issues, and then I think it was fiction and poetry. It was an English credit. So yeah, history, sociology, and English. And then for Mexico, it was a geography credit. And that was for climate action, which was super cool. And it was specifically focused on Mexico City because we were going to be there. So hard. There's so many. I've done so many. So for Scotland, I think the highlight for me was meeting a Highland coo because they're one of my favorite animals. For Mexico, it was actually, my favorite day was with this NGO, and we were all cleaning up garbage and then afterwards planting lemon trees. And there was so many really nice conversations, and we actually witnessed a lot of the birds coming back. So it was very magical, and I cried for sure. It was great. For Indonesia, it was a couple of us went up to Mount Bromo. She did as well on a different day. But that was a crazy experience and very cold, but wouldn't change it. And yeah, also just meeting so many good friends and having so many good roommates. Shout out Yasmine, also shout out Claudia and Dana, because we're all still friends.
I'll start with Indonesia. I did Mount Bromo first. I was the first one, and I actually pressured Trisha and her friends to go do it. So for this one, the day I arrived in the morning, and then that night I went up to Mount Bromo. It took all night. They picked me up at 11 p.m. and then I got back 2 p.m. the next day because I did a bunch of other things too. But I'm like, I don't have the words to describe going up to that mountain and seeing that view. There's a picture that they'll show you, and that, picture speaks 1,000 words, as they say. And then for Italy, I would have to say the professors, Wesley, Noel, and Sarah, that I don't think my trip would have been that phenomenal if it weren't for them. And I think Trisha can relate too, like in her field schools. It's just like something so special about traveling with the professors that you already loved. Like in the class setting, they were like my favorite professors. I loved going to their classes. So like traveling with them in a place where like you both love the environment and the country, it's so cool. I don't think I will ever experience that type of relationship ever again. It's wonderful.
Yeah, no, definitely like geeking out over all of the historical landmarks that you also are like obsessed with together. And then like in London, we would go to like the shows. We saw like Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera, and some of those are with my profs.
So this is one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken. It is the city of Florence. And so the story behind this picture is if you Google Florence, you're gonna get this beautiful picture of the Duomo. And it's a gorgeous picture of it in the sunset, and it is a sunset, but for some reason while I was there, I thought it was a sunrise, and I said, I have to see that, I have to see it in the sunrise. So I round up all my roommates, Sarah Rossiter, and we go up at 5 a.m. And I'm standing there looking at it, and I said, that doesn't look like the picture. And I show everyone, they're like, oh, that's a sunset. I'm like, of course it is. It was our last day in Florence before we spent a week in the island of Elba. So it was a very, I guess, symbolic trip. It was just the 5 of us. And we did come to this viewpoint on the first day, and then we came the last day at 5 a.m. And it's a very bustling city, but not in the way you think. It's a lot of tourism, a lot of tourists. But it was very, very quiet then, and it was very nice.
So this photo, it was on one of the last days, or I think it was the last day in Mexico. We all went to this bar that one of our advisors, Jorge, his friend or his sister knew the owner. And so it was like their first anniversary, and we all went there and just like were dancing and having our final dinner together right before we had to leave at like 3 a.m. to get back to the airport. So it's like the final hurrah, and that just shows I have made a lot of good friendships. And then speaking of roommates,
3, 2, 1. And then 3, 2, 1. And then they were roommates.
Okay. We show this one too.
Oh my god.
3, 2.
And then they were roommates. So this is us getting along.
Playing mermaid. This is us with the turtles that we released into the ocean. They're really cute. This one was like flapping its wings like this, and then it was like flapping like this in the wind. It was really cute.
This was us in the swimming pool. In Banyuwangi.
That's Bali.
That's Bali. We were looking at Bali. This is a very good. This is like I think I'd put this in my wallet.
Yeah.
Like this one is on a fridge, and this one's in my wallet.
In the wallet.
Yeah.
I think that the culture shock is always one of the hardest things. I think it kind of happens on every trip, where like the first few days are like super amazing. You're kind of taking it all in, and then you kind of hit a wall where you're like, I don't know all these people. Like I don't know how the food delivery service works, and I can't log in, and it's not taking my card. There's just like a couple of those situations you just get really burnt out. But for me, it was just kind of like journaling, taking the me time for a couple hours, and then just like focusing on the now and like taking the opportunity to like make the friends with the people that are around. So it was definitely different, kind of spooky, scary, but after a few days you get the hang of it and then you're really settled.
Yeah. It's no wonder why she hated me the first time I opened the door. We're gonna spend 6 weeks together.
I'm about to do this again. Just another roommate. I'm gonna fall in love with her and then I'm never gonna see her again. Just
very true. Very true.
I think in addition to friendship and a lot of fun memories that I get to tell everyone about, perspective I think is a huge one for me, at least. Just like, it just changes the way I see the world, how I want to act in my everyday life, and I think enriches like my future careers and relationships with people. That's the biggest one, perspective.
Yeah, probably ties in with like international relationships. This is especially from Indonesia because we were actually engaging with different students from different countries. Whereas in like the Italy one, I kind of stayed in my own hub of like Douglas classmates, which isn't bad, but it was very interesting to like meet different people, and I have this whole like contact list from people around the world. It's like their names and then the flag of their country.
Yeah.
I collect them like stamps.
That's cute. Yeah. I feel like every time I come back from one of these trips, I'm like learning more about myself and like my home city, because you're away from it and then you get to kind of see it from like a step back and like see how everyone else is living.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I didn't realize that this was in my everyday before.
Yeah.
And I kind of appreciate it more.
That's a
and
really
now
good
I want to
point.
see what like I want to maybe like change and like contribute my time to, and yeah. Well, for me, I want to become a counselor, and I think that learning about everyone else's culture and becoming more aware, expanding your worldview is like very important to doing that. Makes you more like empathetic, compassionate. There's just a lot of skills that come out of traveling, I think.
Especially if you're going to be a counselor in such a like diverse and multicultural country. Yeah. It's interesting.
I already have. Yes.
If we haven't convinced you now, I don't know what will.
No. I literally tell like everyone I meet, I'm like, dude, like do that.
I think one of the few things that would hinder a student is the cost, but you have to take into account that you will be budgeting, and it's way less scary once you do that. And scholarships, like you will get that. And after that, it's really, really good. Like once that's out of the way, you just have to, like I said, you just have to go and be there.
Yeah. No, it's like I love learning, and so it's like a really engaging, like fully immersive way to do that. And yeah, like with the funding, it's crazy how like not enough people know about it, because like I've done it 3 times now.
Yeah.
So I'm taking every opportunity to tell everyone like there's funding available. Did you know this? They have these programs. Like it's so cool. Like do it. Absolutely, yes. I will do it again. It has definitely developed me as a person. I definitely am not the same person I was like 3 years ago after, like before all of these programs. And I'm definitely motivated to do a lot more, and I feel very empowered that I can after seeing all of these leaders doing the thing. So yeah, I'm very grateful to it.
Because with Douglas, or when you are with global engagement at any institution, all the hard stuff is taken care of. When you're traveling alone, you have to worry about where you're staying, finances. Like you don't really have a moment to like actually, you know, open your eyes and see, unless it's in your itinerary, open your eyes and see. So the whole time when you're studying abroad, you have so much space to do that, and that's why it's so nice to do it with Douglas College.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Global engagement.
Global engagement. This is not paid.
Well,
We're just really.
it was.
It was.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, I guess. Crap.
Yes. Yeah, do it so you can get paid.
I don't have to be here. I don't.
We want to be.
We want to be here.